Omaha's news leader, chronicling the stories and people making a difference in our community. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle.
Good morning. Welcome to KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle. I'm Andy Kendi. As we celebrate Black History Month, we're recognizing two men in the Metro who are breaking barriers in collegiate sports. Adrian Dahl is the Director of Athletics at UNO, and Marcus Blossom serves as the AD at Creighton. Both are the first African-American athletic directors at those universities. And last week, I sat down with both men to talk about the road ahead. First up, Adrian Dahl. He was named the AD by UNO Chancellor Dr. Joanne Lee back in November. He officially took over the role on December 1st. Before that, Dahl spent 7 years at Creighton, where he most recently served as Associate Athletic Director. Now he's in charge of his own athletic department. The 35-year-old wants to bring his energy and enthusiasm to get the community motivated for the Mavericks.
So about 10 weeks in, and I think normally you probably get an opportunity to transition into the role. I have not been afforded that opportunity. We hit the ground running, right? Which was, actually one of the benefits of being in the city and taking this job is quite literally on a Friday, I had the Creighton pin on, and a Monday I had the UNO pin on, and we just hit the ground running. So it's been good. It's been great. We've had to do a lot of work over the past 2 months. COVID's been a really impact. There's been a lot of changes NCAA and Division I wise that has really forced me to begin the job, and at some point we'll become a little bit more oriented, maybe this summer.
You mentioned Creighton. For people who don't know, you were with Creighton since 2014 before taking the job here. Is there a discernible difference between working at Creighton, working at Omaha? There's two institutions, obviously private, public, and all that, but what have you noticed as the biggest difference maybe between the two?
Just the profile of the institution, right? I think what I've noticed, a lot of people don't realize how big UNO is. I mean, we've got 14,000 student body here. That's a pretty significant size. And in addition to that, just the number of alums we have in the city with having such a significant student body. I mean, we have over 80,000 alums in the city. So that's really been just how large of an institution. I've certainly noticed there's an awesome spirit of collaboration on campus as well that seems to be unique to UNO. And certainly an opportunity for us, especially as an athletics program, to become really ingrained with what we're doing as an institution, right? How we partner with our academic peers, how we partner with the various schools on campus, and also how we partner with other divisions on campus as well.
As an African American going to a high profile position, there's not many African Americans at the level of a Division I athletic director. How much do you consider that in a day-to-day role that you play, and how much do you consider that being a trailblazer in terms of showing the example of younger generations that shoot, anybody can do anything?
I don't think about it day-to-day, and that's actually refreshing, right? That you don't have to think about it day-to-day, and you're not treated any different regardless of how you look. However, certainly taking the job, and certainly there are reflection points along the way that you have to pinch yourself that this is a big moment, right? And it's certainly a moment of responsibility, right? The one thing you don't want to be is you don't want to mess it up for the next person. And it's actually pretty refreshing to think how much work, how much progress it's taken in society to be able to take advantage of an opportunity like that. And the responsibility for me is to make sure this is a positive experience for all involved. So the next time there's someone who maybe looks like me, they'll have the same opportunity. And then, too, I do think it's important, for kids who are minorities to see individuals like me in leadership positions, because hopefully it does open their minds up to what's possible.
How do you continue promoting diversity in all aspects of the athletic department? Obviously, you have a good percentage of African Americans as your athletes, and yet there might be some room for improvement, whether it be coaches or administration or wherever. Where do you think you guys can improve in that area?
There's always room for improvement, right? But the one goal we have is to really make diversity, inclusion, equity part ingrained in our culture, right? I think athletic departments are incredible examples of what's possible. Usually, your student athlete base, it's usually the most diverse piece on campus, right? And so we always need to remind our campus partners and community, we have an incredible diverse student athlete population, but also as we hire coaches, as we hire administrators, as we ingrain ourselves more in the community, let's be intentional with how we not only recruit, but who we hire as well. We're always going to hire, the best person for any position. That's always what we have to do, right? However, we can certainly be more intentional in who we recruit and how much effort we put into it as well.
Still being so new on the job, on the field of play, how would you assess 10 weeks in of where the Maverick Athletic Department is? Obviously, you probably want some better results, or I don't want to put words in your mouth, but where do you see the big money sports, which is men's basketball and hockey at this point?
Yeah, there's always room for improvement, for sure. Hockey's been very consistent, right? For the majority of the year, I know we just dropped outside the top 20 in the polls, but we've been ranked in the top 15 for the majority of the year, and that's certainly the goal we have for our hockey program. It's really important to be not only relevant, but successful in hockey and men's basketball for us. They're a revenue sports, right? Their success directly impacts our department, both brand equity-wise and also fiscally, right? So we have to be competitively successful. It's my job as an AD to do what I can to help the coaching staffs, to help the programs out, to give them the best chance of success on the ice or on the court. So although I know we've had a turbulent new year after January 1 so far, right? We still have some incredible opportunities in front of us, right? Hockey, we've got 3 straight home series versus all ranked programs, so that's huge for us to be able to end the season at home and have a chance, hopefully, to provide that home ice competitive edge. And men's basketball, too. The thing you love about college basketball is you're never quite out of it, right? It doesn't matter how tough of a season you've had. Once you get to March, everyone's 0-0. So if you win out, you'll have a chance to, make the tournament. So
anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
When you look at your bio, the word development pops up all over the place, right? Yeah. So what do you say in terms of your place in the community, and what potential is there for development here in Omaha with the Mavericks?
Endless potential, right? And that says more about Omaha as a community than it does me as a fundraiser or our staff. This institution just plays such a vital role, in this community. Dr. Lee, we've got a brand new chancellor, we've got a relatively new president, and Ted Carter as well, but they'll be the first ones to tell you we've got, 2 main goals at this institution. That's one, to educate our students, right? And 2 is how can we use this institution to lift the community? And I really think the philanthropic profile of this community really ingrains well in that. The ceiling's crazy high, right? Going through the last 10 weeks and 2 months, I've noticed that although it's easy to say we're challenged resource-wise, that's fixable, right? So we are going to be exhaustive, not only, looking under every rock and really engaging, with our fan base, with our alums, with our former student athletes, but also I know if we're successful as an athletics program, we're bringing others to the table who otherwise may not have interacted, with the institution, right? And we've got a pretty big city with a lot of our alums out there that I look forward to engaging with. And hopefully, the consequence is providing more resources for our sport programs as well.
For some of your athletes who don't know you as well, what kind of message would you like to send to them?
Our athletes?
Your athletes.
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly sensitive to their experience. If you look at our juniors and seniors now, due to the pandemic, they've been dealing with the impacts of COVID now for 3 years, right? Think about the seniors. The majority of their college careers, they've not had a normal experience that you and I had, right? So really, I want them to finish this spring semester out as normal as possible. And also, being a former student athlete, the one thought I do have every day is I remember what it was like when I was in college, right? You only have one opportunity to play with the teams you're on. You only have one opportunity to play for the coaches you're with. Take advantage of it, right? These should be, and hopefully will be, the best 4 to 5 years maybe of your life. So really cherish the moment and seize the moment and leave it on the ice or leave it on the court.
I know you're focused on the day-to-day, but if you can kind of look into the crystal ball, and in a perfect world, where would UNO athletics be in 5, 6, 7 years? What is success?
You know, first of all, success really, you know, we are continuing to provide an awesome education experience for our student athletes. That's something UNO has always done. That's something we need to continue. That's the most important benchmark of our success. However, you know, one of the reasons I was very excited about this opportunity is you look at a number of our sport programs, right? There's 8, I can tell you right off the bat. And I think we have the opportunity and potential to really win our leagues and advance to the NCAA tournament. So that broad level of success where, you know what, we're not just a hockey school, right? We're a hockey and volleyball school. We're a hockey and basketball and volleyball and baseball school. I think we can, 5 to 6 years, I think we'll have the potential to make the NCAA tournament in a lot of sports that maybe even some of our, you know, Power 5 peers can't say, right? I mean, there's not a lot of institutions that have 7, 8, 9 programs that have a chance to compete at the NCAA levels. And ultimately, that will be a big piece of how we're benchmarked success-wise.
All right, still to come, Creighton's new athletic director knows he has some big shoes to fill. How Marcus Blossom hopes to build on that foundation left by his predecessor. That's coming up. You're watching KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle.